Hello everybody and welcome to Star Mountain Hikes. I'm John and today I am at the Hobo Gulch Trailhead in Trinity County, California, the Trinity National Forest, and I am heading into the Trinity Alps Wilderness to Papoose Lake. So come on and join me. Okay, the road was blocked by a fallen log or fallen tree just before the trailhead. But now I am at the trailhead. And it's about 12 miles into Papoose Lake. Let's hit the trail. There is a wonderful campsite, probably a little less than a mile in. So I think if you want to come in or late at night or whatever, and you don't want to hike that far, this would be a good place to camp. And the trail is just right through there. Here's the turnoff to the campground, and just so you know that that's not the trail, there is a little cairn right there. And we're heading that way. Next thing we come across is this beautiful little stream. I'll have to look up the name of it on the map. Next I come to a sign for Backbone Creek, so that's probably the creek's name. And it seems to be a trail right there. There is another trail here for Papoose Lake. That looks like the high water trail. And then this is the low water trail, and I think I saw this on the map. It's mid-July. I think the low water trail will be just fine. I think we need a new signpost here. Alright, this is kind of a weird sign. It just says trail, and it's like up the hill from the trail. Odd. Definitely watch out for poison oak around here. Here it is on both sides of the trail. Nasty. Okay, the trail fords the North Fork of the Trinity River right here. It doesn't look bad though. Here's the view of the crossing from the other side. Let's continue. On the opposite side of the creek here, or excuse me, the North Fork of the Trinity River, there's a large flat, and it looks like there's some pretty good camping opportunities here. Well, it looks like we're at another river crossing. I don't exactly see where the trail is on the other side, but it definitely goes down right here. I'm sure I'll find it once I get over to the other side. I'm wondering if it would have been just easier to keep my hiking boots on and not changed into sandals twice, but I've got all day, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's keep the shoes dry. Okay, I'm now done with the second river crossing, and it might be a good time to discuss some of the hazards and obstacles that I may encounter on this trail. First of all, stream crossings. These are probably the worst. It's the lowest of the main river, and it was thigh deep, and it wasn't that bad. Still, there was a little bit of swift water there. I could feel a little pull, and it was rather deep, and the rocks were very slippery, so if you fall, you can hurt yourself pretty bad, I think. I don't think you'd drown, but it wouldn't be fun. The next obstacle I'd like to talk about are the wildlife issues. There's the ever-present mountain lions and bears in Klamath Mountains. You know, just be aware of that. I'm taking bear spray with me due to a incident that happened to me 30 years ago when I was in school. hiking on the Woolly Creek Trail, I came face to face with a mountain lion, and I didn't like it. So I'm being prepared for that. Bears, standard precautions are needed for bear safety in wilderness areas. But here in the Klamath Mountains, there's an unusually large number of bears, a high population, so just be aware of that. And finally, there is a wildlife, how do I put it? There is a wild animal that you need to be aware of, especially on the Rattlesnake Creek Trail up to Papoose Lake. And you guessed it, it's a rattlesnake. I hear there's a reason why that creek got its name, so I'm going to be cognizant of that and watch where I put my feet. As far as difficulties I may encounter on the trail, there is a mile-long rock scramble to get up to Papoose Lake. So that's going to be interesting. I don't think it's treacherous or anything, but I don't know, really. We'll see. Oh, and finally, the last thing is that it's going to be hot. We're probably looking at a 90-degree day today, especially in the low country here. It'll be better up high, 70s, 80s maybe, in the afternoon. But yeah, I don't like the heat, so I'm just going to take my time, take it easy. I've already dunked my hat. My pants are wet up to my thighs, and that's helping to keep me cool for now. Alright, as you can see from the sign behind me, I've arrived at the other branch of the trail, the high water part of the trail, which honestly, I think would have been better. I wouldn't have had to change my shoes twice. I'll know for the way back down. Alright, so this is what the trail looks like through here now. It's been like this for a little while. It's flat and cruisy. Kind of nice. I was a little slow there at first with the two crossings, but I think I can make up a little time here. Yeah, this is kind of a cool stream crossing. I like all the big leaf plants around it. I'm gonna have to find out what these are. Almost a picture-perfect camping area down there. About 2.5 miles in, maybe, at the most. Here's the trail. And I just wanted to show you the size of the roots on this massive Doug fir tree. Man, absolutely beautiful. It's a big tree too. It's a goshawk. Jesus Christ, another goshawk. He's dive bombed me. That's actually pretty cool. Hello, buddy. Yeah, I know I'm near your nest. I'm gonna leave. I'll see you later. Okay. That was interesting. That is a species that was at least on the endangered species list here in California. It's a northern goshawk. And yeah, we used to have to keep a lookout for them when I was doing forestry work 20 years ago. That is one characteristic of them, is that when you get near their nest, they dive bomb you. They're sensitive to humans in the area. Very well camouflaged. Yeah, I see you there, buddy. I believe those are steelhead. I don't know if you can see them in there. Okay, I'm about 4 miles in, and there's another massive flat here. That would be awesome for camping. It's huge. Ah, the first sign of mining equipment. Before this was a wilderness area, this area was used by mining back in the 49er days. Alright, do you think this might be the fork in the trail? I'm guessing it is. If you turn right here, you go to Papoose Lake. Left takes you all the way up to Grizzly Lake. It's interesting. Down here in the lower areas where the trees are bigger and there's more old growth, the forest did just fine through the fire. But up the slopes, it didn't do as well. Let's take a look. You can see up there past the bigger trees that it's the forest is entirely dead. Bigger trees are more fire resistant, period. Okay, here is something that I don't see every day. This right here is a Pacific yew. I believe the scientific name is Taxus brevifolia. I think they use this for cancer medication or something. Okay, maybe this is my tree of the day. This, my friends, is a sugar pine. I believe it's Pinus lambertiana. And this is a nice tall one. Beautiful. Love sugar pines. Probably my favorite pine. And let's go take a look at the cones real quick. Alright, it's hard to hold this one far enough from the camera because it's so big. This is another way you can tell it's a sugar pine because they have huge cones. Don't let one hit you in the head. Alright everybody, I'm still at the trail junction here. I've been here for over an hour now. I'm trying to wait out some of the heat of the day. I went ahead and ate lunch and I've been resting, and I took off my shoes, aired out my feet, filtered some water, so I've got cold fresh water again. I am a little dehydrated, peeing a little dark, so this was a needed break, I think, even though I'm really just kind of moseying. I'm not really hiking that hard, but when it's 90-degree heat, you know, you gotta take some precautions, especially when you start getting a little older like I am. Well, I'm back on the trail, man. Shoot. Alright, so I just left the trail junction and I'm heading up to Papoose Lake, or at least part way up to Papoose Lake today. I'm hoping not to go as far as Enos Camp, which is about 2 miles before the lake, something like that. But I would like to get another 3 or 4 miles. That would be nice. Archaeological site. Old mining crap. Probably from the 20s, 30s, something like that. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. They must have mined here a long time. 50 years or so, probably. Interesting. Oh, the glorious piles of rocks. That's from dredging the stream. They pull up the rocks, put them in a pile after going through some kind of sluice or something, probably. Or they separated out the big rocks from the little rocks that they sent down the sluice. Interesting. Whew. This is brutal. It was 93 degrees when I left camp. And I just checked the thermometer and it's now 94. And I think that's because I'm in kind of a little burn area where there's not as much shade. Whew. From a distance, that stump looked like Bigfoot. Maybe it is Bigfoot. See these little saplings? That looks like an elk rub. It's possible that it could be a deer rub, but I think it took off some pretty big branches to get that much trunks carved off there, so I'm thinking elk. Okay, that's the way I came, and I just wanted to show you that I needed to watch my step a little bit on this section. It's a little slippery and narrow and steep going down. Okay, I just came from that direction and there was a switchback, and now I'm heading down here to a creek crossing of Rattlesnake Creek, it looks like. Alright, I'm coming up out of the creek. And it's not Rattlesnake Creek. I'll have to look up the name later, because it's not nearly big enough. So I think this is just a little side canyon that we're crossing. I'm a couple miles up the trail now, and off to my left there's a little camp with a nice bench. Looks like a good place. Alright, after going through the rock piles, we are now heading to a creek crossing. And it goes down steeply right here. Let's check it out. Oh, there's my shadow. All right. And we cross right over there. Okay, so I'm still at the creek. I just checked the thermometer and it's a good 5 degrees cooler here than it is on the hillside. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere soon. I've got all day. No hurries. It's kind of pretty here too. Look at this old equipment down here. An old tractor and a dump truck. I spotted a waterfall through the trees. Beautiful. Okay, I didn't document this last night, but this is my campsite. And it's now 6 a.m. and I'm heading up to the lake. Okay, this is what I saw from the trail. Right after I got some water, and man, it was not a good night. I probably had a bit of heat exhaustion, and so that's why I chose this campsite. It was the first one after getting water, and I was done. So anyway, after my legs were cramping up all night, I feel better this morning, so I'm not gonna go through all this pain without seeing the lake. Obstacle. Alright folks, I'm stopped at this little stream right here, and I'm filling up on water and hopefully cameling up too. I've already drank the rest of my liquid IV for today's portion, and I'm going to pack 2 liters of water up to the lake with me. Ah, finally a glimpse of where we're going. Look at that, the high Trinity Alps. Sweet. This little section here has a lot of canyon live oak. This is the middle fork of Rattlesnake Creek. Just across the creek, there is a campsite here. Looks well used. There's even a cooking grate. We're starting to get up into the white fir now. Alright, now I find myself in this burn area. There's lots of berries to pick through here. And it looks like I'm heading up into some pretty rugged country. There's quite a bit of fireweed in here too. And this is the trail. As you can tell, it's not as well maintained up in this area. These leopard lilies are over my head. They're tall. There is an occasional blue flag here to help you find your way through the brush. Here's the view behind me. As you can see, it's been a pretty good climb coming from the bottom of the canyon there. Alright, I'm at the top of a little rise and it's a beautiful view. And you can see up into the cirque right there where Papoose Lake is. And man, the temperature has dropped about 5 degrees from where I camped, which I am grateful for. Alright, the sun caught me. I was hoping to get to Enos Camp before hitting the sun, but that's alright. I'm only a half mile from the camp, so let's keep going. Yeah, the guy at the Forest Service office told me that I would see some people up here, but thus far, nobody this whole trip. Little solitude. I'm not complaining. Getting a little closer. I just finally passed a group of other people and they told me it's nice and cool up there. I can't wait to get there. Alright, whew. This is the first chance to rest in the shade for about 2 miles. So I'm going to take advantage of it. The temperature's already gone up to 90 in the sun. So I can't wait to get to the lake where it's a little cooler. Whew. The lady I talked to said I'm almost out of the brushy stuff. That was a while ago. I'm still in the brushy stuff. Oh man. Brutal. I think my wife was worried about me hiking on ledges, and that's the trail. There's the mountain behind it. Let's make this our tree of the day. This is weeping spruce, or Picea breweriana, and it's one of the rarest of species up here. This kind of looks like a white bark pine. Well, that's kind of a little cool piece of trail right there. Don't tell my wife. Yeah, that's quite the little gorge in there. That's where Rattlesnake Creek comes out. Oh, thank God. I think I finally see the rim right there. Phew. This is a butt kicker of a hike. Okay, here is my first look at Papoose Lake. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry. I'm having trouble talking, but wow. How beautiful is this? Near the outlet of the lake, there's this neat little camp here. It's got chairs that somebody constructed. It's got frying pans and grills. Almost makes me wish I brought my fishing rod now. But I'm thinking, instead of pitching a tent, of just cowboy camping right there. I think that would be fun. Now I'm gonna just kind of chill out and recover from the hike for a little bit. Alright, as you can see, I'm laying in my bed, and this is my view. Not a bad way to fall asleep. Alright folks, it's midnight, and I've been having to deal with a marauding deer. It was so gross. I left my salty clothes on a rock right next to me here, and he stole them. And sucked on them, I guess, because they were soaked. It was disgusting. I had to go down to the lake and wash them out. And then he keeps coming back. I've chased him off, I've thrown rocks at him, done everything I can to get him out of here, and he just keeps coming back. So yeah, this is what I've been having to deal with tonight. Good morning, everybody. It is now day 3, and I am packed up and ready to go, wearing my wet clothes. It's actually not that bad, it's not that cold. But yeah, this is my last look at the lake, and let me give you a little update on the casualties of last night's deer incident. This shirt, brand new sun hoodie. Yeah, it's got some chew holes in it. They're small, but there's enough of them that I think this shirt has had it, which is a shame. It's brand new. And the next casualty is my belt that I use for hiking. It's the belt that came on the old Columbia Sportswear hiking pants. It's lightweight, it's durable, has a little plastic clip, so it's, lightweight again. So I don't know where it is. I've been looking all over for it and I can't find it. I don't know how the deer took it out of the pants or whatever, but it's gone. Let's hit the trail, because I'm running late this morning and it's gonna get hot in that canyon. Okay, so if the sign was correct at the trailhead, I've got a 14-mile hike out. So Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. I'm just gonna take it easy up through the scramble area. Take my time. Try to move efficiently as possible. And then, once I hit the main trail, I'll hit the afterburners at least until the sun gets a little higher and it gets hotter. That's the plan. Let's get out of here today. I never showed you guys that little mosquito bog down at the bottom there when I was climbing up. But yeah, there's a little bog on the way. Okay, there's a cairn there. And as I pan down, now I'm pointing almost straight down. This is a steep part of the scramble. But honestly, I don't remember this on the way up. I think I took a different route. Strange that the cairns led me here. I really have no choice but to climb down or else climb back up and go around. Here I go. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. There was actually this little ledge to climb down on, and that's the actual way the trail goes, or scramble. And this is where I was looking down. So I just came down from there. Sorry about the bouncy camera work. Amateur hour. Okay, there is another cairn right here that leads you up around those rocks. So this is probably the way I took last time. Okay, now I am at the bottom of the steepest part of the scramble. And yeah, that's what I just came down. Doesn't look that steep from here on the camera. Oh well. Alright, now I'm entering the burn zone. Let the heat begin. Okay, right behind me here, where the camera's pointing, just up the hill there is Enos Camp. I think it's Enos Camp anyway. It's been destroyed through the fire, but I did find an old fire ring with a grill. And from here, there should be dug trail. And it is right here, but it is hard to follow because of the fire. A lot of it's been destroyed or grown over. The only redeeming quality of this burn area that seems to go on forever is the sheer quantity of thimbleberries that are out here. Are those green trees ahead of me? Am I approaching the end of the burn zone? I sure hope so. Now it looks like I'm truly back in the trees. Hopefully I can get a move on now. Hello everybody. I'm taking a break now. I've been hiking for about 3 hours. And I'm at middle fork of Rattlesnake Creek. I thought it would be a good time to take a little break. That's why they call them widowmakers. There's a doe and a fawn. There goes the fawn. And there goes the doe. Alright, looks like we're at Mill Creek and I see a campsite down there. I kind of wish I would have made it to there the first night, but I was beat. And Mill Creek is right there. We'll cross it shortly. Here's a good sized sugar pine cone. And these are 11s, I believe. Now the trail's getting pretty cruisy. Not as steep. And actually we're on an old road. Now I can make up some time. Okay, I'm at the Rattlesnake Creek crossing. Last time I took my boots off and kept them dry, but I think I'm just going to go through this time. Might even feel good to have wet boots. There we go. Okay, I'm still at the creek. I decided to stop and refill my water and have a snack. And now I'm heading up this way. Alright, the temperature's getting up to 85 degrees now. I've been lucky up until about this point. But it didn't take long for my quadricep to start cramping up. My body just does not like the heat. I'm a cool weather coastal guy, I guess. But Anyway, I think I've got about 5 miles left to hike, so let's hope I can make it. Alright, so I've just made it back to the North Fork Trail. 4.5 miles to go. I hope you can see those fish down there. Those aren't steelhead, they're very big trout. My guess is they're steelhead because I know this is a spawning stream. North Fork of the Trinity River. There's a lot of them down there. Whole school. You can see them better today than yesterday or day before. I'm hearing the goshawks again. Let's see if they dive bomb me again. Okay, I'm on the high water side of the route now. And man, that was a mistake on a day like today. It brings you way the heck up the side of the mountain. I did get some views of some mountains to the west of me, but oh man, on today I would have rather crossed the river where it's cool. I would now like to close out this video with some final thoughts. First of all, I would like to recommend visiting Papoose Lake in the shoulder seasons, either late spring or early fall, to avoid canyon heat. Next, don't expect spectacular scenery until you arrive at the lake, but the mining history in the canyon is an interesting distraction from the lack of views. The best camping is at the lake or in the lower stretches of the canyon. Don't expect to find good camping closer to the lake. Last, it's a strenuous hike. It's a 4,000 foot elevation gain going up to the lake and 4,000 feet descending back down to the trailhead. So just keep that in mind when you take the hike. Most of all, just enjoy your trip.